Good evening, everyone. How we doing? Welcome to Just Trace TV, and I've got Will with me. He's over there.
Hello.
Hey, that's worked. I'm so glad that's worked. This is the first time we've done this, so we've been working all back end of last week and the beginning of today, and just getting the cameras sorted. So it's the first time we've done this. So fingers crossed it all goes to plan.
Something goes catastrophically wrong.
Yeah, we're going to do some Southwestern Expressways route building. We're doing around the Bedwin area at the minute, so we're going to do some lamp placement first, because Will sent me some nice new lamps, so I'm going to put them in and get them into place, and then a bit more clutter on the station for what we've got at the minute. There's still some bits to come, and then we're just going to do some more route building in general, so we'll tidy up these houses, and then we'll just work around our way up the route a bit. So, right, let me just get my chat window up, because obviously I'm on that one. So, who's in that I can see? So I can see Tom Andrew, good evening. At the Stolen MHR Property, good evening. Kate Silver Powell, good to see you. Gareth Henley's, good evening. Which is your hometown? Are you around at Bedwin? If you're at Bedwin, hopefully you can see it coming along nicely. Class 43 Harrison, good evening. Spaghetti Raver, good evening. Who else have we got? I can see Howling Wolf, good evening. Imara Rat, good evening. Samuel 05, good evening. Mad Matt as well, good to see you guys. Ollie as well, Welsh Jim. Willow, good to see you. D Kent and Nigel, good evening guys. Tristan Guy as well. Ben Appletree, good evening. Rob Allen as well, good evening to you. And whoever else is here, thank you for joining us. So, I'm going to put a little bit of background music on. And hopefully this will work as well. It's a throwback. It's the throwback to our old intro. Is that alright in levels? Can anyone hear that? Hopefully so. I might have to tweet that, but we'll see. Right. Is it picking up the baby monitor? One moment while I go and take the baby monitor out of the room. 2 takes. I'll leave you with Will. Will talk to you.
I'll put in a couple words. Tom's been doing nothing but chat. Thank you everyone for coming tonight. Hopefully this is going to be entertaining. I can't guarantee anything with Tom. However, so we're going to try and do a route building stream today. So we're going to be focusing mostly on the Bedwin area. I've only just sent them over this station last couple of hours ago, so hopefully it should work. Tom should be sorting out the baby monitor. I think he's moved out of the room now. Are you making Barrow? Do you mean Barrow on Hill? We've already made that. We finished that in December, I think. Oh, thank you, Matthew. Yeah, well, you know, Tom's always entertaining to watch anyway. He's a funny person to look at when you really think about it. Barrow and Furnace.
I'm back.
Oh, hey up.
Hey up. I do apologise about that. Got a very unsettled little one at the minute with his teeth, so do excuse that. Right, let me crack on. Let me interrupt you there, Will.
It's alright, mate. It's not the first time you've interrupted me.
I know. Right, I need some photo reference for the lamps. Let me just see if I can see them on Google Earth first, actually. You may be able to see them. I can. Right. I do need to see though which ones are which. Right, so Bedwin Station is literally new, textured this week. The asset itself was put in place last week. The textures and everything came in this afternoon, and I think was it late Friday, weren't it? And then obviously it all was sorted late on this afternoon by yourself, Will.
Yeah, I finished up the textures this evening.
Right, where's my flicker? pictures gone? There they are. So I want to look for Bedwin Station. So this is the next station up as well from Pusey. So you saw Pusey on our last development stream. You've probably seen the post that went up onto Facebook in terms of the blog as well. So that'll do. That's a start. So it's not as big in terms of the buildings on this. So it's quite a small hut on this one. I need another monitor. I really do. Elama, good evening as well, and Louis Trains, good evening. Right. So I want some single lamps first of all. So we've got 2 new lamps for the station. So the double-headed one and the single-headed one. That's the track. We don't want to do that. There we go.
Yeah, don't move the track, mate.
I'll try not to move the track. I know. I have to change it.
Gets very upset. Mark gets very upset if you move the track.
It means Mark has to go and fix things. We don't want that. I think
God, no.
There's a single and a double as well. I'm going to copy C and Control V, which pastes another one in. So there is a single, which is about here. And then there's a double by the actual exit of the station. So I'm just going to minimise that at the moment. Now we do not want to break the track. It's never a good thing. Luckily we've got backups. So if anything goes wrong, we'll just put the backup in there. So I'm going to double check.
I don't know. When was the last time we did a backup?
I've got a track bin backup which was like a week or so back, which is the most up-to-date one anyway, so if anything had to be changed, it's not an issue, we don't lose anything. It's always whenever like, I do any track changes, no, if I do a track change I get a backup made. I actually haven't touched any track for a while because there's not actually been any bridges but I've had to make narrow track on, so that's looking just about right in terms of distance apart, which is great. I need to find another picture though, which probably not going to actually work. So what I'll do is I'm going to open Google Earth because it goes literally alongside the station, so this will be quite handy. Right, for Google Earth, I know you guys can't see all this lot. There's a lot going on my other screen, which is hard to keep up with chat as well. But it's a good job that Will's here this evening because he can obviously help out with in terms of answers. And now I did see as well there was a question regarding the S8 and S7+1. To do with the destination blinds. Now, who asked us that before? It was quite early on.
I can scroll up.
There it is. It was Imran Matt. Thank you for the question there. So, the reason that the S7+1 and the S8 haven't got them destination on is because they don't operate on that line. It would be actually the S7 units, but we haven't got an S7 unit, and obviously we haven't got a route that they run on, so they've not been added onto the train themselves because they don't operate down there.
Yes, Nigel. We use all as many resources as we can, especially if we can't get down to the station.
Tons.
You know, we always try our best to get the most up-to-date references. It's kind of difficult with Swex because with Swex it's obviously a dated route.
Yeah. So luckily though the maps do go back in time to some extent, which is a good thing. These are all actually single ones, apart from there's a couple of doubles up by the entrance, which is easy for me. Right, so I can see where these go. So we're going to put some single ones, which is the one there. I can see that one. You can see where the shadows of the actual the lamp heads are, which is really easy. So put these in. It's about there.
Yeah, Aaron. I use 3ds Max. Our other developer uses Blender. And unfortunately, you can't use 2021 yet because the plugins aren't available. I think we're currently stuck at using 2019 are the most latest plugins, but a lot of other devs stick with 2016 and lower. I personally use 2019 because there are a few tools in there that I prefer. But yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll make it so you can use 2021 because that's just that bit better than, you know.
It's all over my head, that stuff. Apparently I'm good at making signs, but I think it's just lies. Right, so these are actually more or less, I think they're all facing the right way, so all they need to do actually is rise them up to the right height. So easy.
Yeah, you need to bring them up onto the platform, mate.
Yeah, so they're all facing the right way. We'll just...
Lewis Trains, how do you use Blender? I am so confused with it. I used to use Blender a very long time ago. Before I worked at JT, I was a product designer, and all we used was Blender. It's like moving from 3D software to 3D software. It does take time, but Blender's more sort of hotkey orientated.
Countess, will this revamped route version go from Reading to Exeter? It will indeed. So Reading in the 2010 period with the old station and the old track layout, and then it'll go all the way through to Exeter via Westbury, and you can also go up to Bristol Temple Meads, and then up along the Bristol to Exeter line as well. And they both join up at Cocklow Junction just before Taunton, and then they run down that way. I think it goes to Exeter St Thomas as well. Double check that. I think it has the... Yeah, it does. So there's the small section down to St Thomas as well to run on. But the main terminus is St David's. But you can see there the route map. So Exeter being down here. Then we travel to Taunton here. And then the route splits off at Coglow Junction. So take the lower line. This is the one that goes towards Westbury. Through Castle Carey and Frome. Up to Westbury here. You can also avoid it or go to the station. Then you have the option to go continuing east to Reading, which is the section we're working on around Bedwin. You can go north to Chippenham, which is another new section to the route. And then you can go back around on yourself to Bath, and then up to Bristol Temple Meads, and then you can loop back round on yourself if you wish to do so and go back to Exeter. So JB Video, good evening. This is South Western Expressways to Reading, which is our upcoming in development route. You may have seen some snippets on Facebook and the website. Right, so that's that side done, so I want to do the other side now. I want to see where the double posts are, which is actually quite handy because I can see them as well on the map, which is really helpful. So we're going to put a double there, there's another double there, there's a double there, and then the rest of them are single-headed ones, so I'm just going to put one there, there. So these are going to be a bit more because I have to rotate them all around and all that. I think that's right. So again, twist them around like so. Will there eventually be a third rail asset for our track? Currently there's no plans to put the third rail in unless plans come in to do a route on third and fourth rail again. We had spoke about possibly doing it on the Metropolitan track, but nothing's ever come of it. So never say never that it may happen, but at the moment there's no plans to do so because it would have to go back to the track developer, which is Gutabarnoff, so George Hartley. Obviously for work on that, but at the minute there's no plans in place to do that yet. Oh, that helps. Shoot the Bandit, evening Matt, how you doing mate? Alright, let's just get these all rotated into place. We haven't got any the station signage yet, so I can't really go any further, but we at least have the lamps in so you can see them being put in. I approved them as well, Mr. Will.
Still waiting on me for the signage.
So those will come in the next day or so, and then they'll go in later on this week or whenever they get in. So once everything's done, we can get some screenshots, and of course we can send them out and get them on the in development page. Let's just rotate the last couple. When do we estimate this route to be finished and released? We haven't got the dates to pass at the moment, but when we have them set, we'll share them with you, Nigel. We don't like to commit to things publicly when it's still obviously quite a bit to do, because if we go past them dates, it doesn't reflect well to us. Then obviously we disappoint people as well. We don't like to disappoint people. So when we get nearer to that time, when we're more firm set in knowledge that we're going to be at the end, and then we can, again, we'll get to them streams where we start showing them and doing the drives and stuff like that, where we can give all that info. Alright, those are the lamps. I'm happy with them.
Yeah, looking alright, mate.
It's alright, that. Right. Not a problem, Nigel. The Hope Valley line, that's progressing nicely. Again, when we can start showing that on the stream, we'll certainly be able to do that. But it's going well. I hear a like. Thank you very much for the like, whoever that was. I can't see the stream at the minute, although Will can see him.
Yeah, there's Richard Elkin. Thank you very much for liking the stream.
Thank you very much. Most appreciated. Carl Leonard, sorry, mate. Let me have a look. Will Chippenham to Reading via Swindon be added as a future extension? There's no plans at the moment on that. Is there any chance of a 153 advance on sale? I'm sure we can sort something at some point. Just have to keep your eye out. Right, so I think around here there's actually hedges, so I'm just going to double check my Google Earth. And it definitely is hedgerows. So again, this is sort of like the revamp of some of the existing scenery off the route. So we're just giving it a bit of a clean up around the station area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the hedges in the whole way first, and then I'll cut some sections out for entrances to the houses. So I'm going to be using the bush siding asset. I'm hoping that this is... Nope, it's not. There's a little bit of a gap. I'm just thinking here, actually, we could probably get a pavement in first. Right. I've lost the pavement because I've not used them for a while. There they are. I think it's number 3 we use for this sort of stuff nearby. Let's me curve the right way around. It is. Excellent. Right, let's go with that. So we'll tidy these up and just move the houses back a little bit, and we'll get a hedgerow in there as well. I'll just put that up to there and there. So we'll just knock these back a little bit. Just push them back. And we'll also just tidy up this little bit of terrain bleed. That's so. Just gives it a little bit of detail, obviously, at station side.
Aidan Braun, thank you for the like.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Right, so I'll put that down there for a minute. Robbo, good evening.
If we've missed any questions.
Alright, so put them away from the road with this loft, otherwise they'll have the curbs the wrong way around. So again, pavement free, and we're just going to click those arrows like so, and it'll put the pavement in. I'm just going to get rid of that, move that away a bit. I'm just going to rotate these around, put them into place. This is away from the track, so we don't need to go too mad with this.
Lewis, it's because we're now streaming on Facebook, so you can now like through Facebook as well.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so this is our second stream via the free format, so we are trying to shake things up a bit, get the word out to more people, just show more people of the stuff that we do, because not everyone uses Twitch, so doing this gets the name out a bit more. Right, let's put that there. Very funky.
Good evening, Aslu. Hope you're enjoying the stream. I can't hear it on stream, by the way, Tom. I don't think you've got it up loud enough.
Oh, hang on. It's just me listening to it then, is it?
You're just jazzing to yourself, are you?
Just having a right little bop to it. Should go through it now.
Yeah, that's better.
There we go. Let's all have a party.
It does. Thank you very much, Lewis.
Nigel,
thank you very much.
Alright, let me get the chat back up there. Right, so I'm going to drop that train bleed down a little bit, just to give that a tidy up. Need to put a little bit of road into there. So I'm going to go with the car park road on this one, just to match him. Aslo, thank you very much for the kind words.
I wouldn't go as far as legends. Maybe leg end for Tom, but we'll get there.
So at the minute that's not going to be very well seen because it's gone under the ground, so we're just going to try and edit it. There we go.
Stephen Smedley, thank you very much for the like.
The bungalows are from the Common Library, James. All these houses that you see are in the common library. As well, good evening to you, James.
Anthony Wilkinson, thank you very much for the like.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Yeah, I'm just gonna snap the road. Like so. So we don't actually need to do too much more around here. We'll get a bit of basic fencing in. I need to...
Lee Jones, good evening. Thank you very much for the like.
Good evening.
Oh, Facebook's going crazy right now.
Facebook's loving it. It's what we want. It's what we want. And again, thank you for everyone joining this evening. If you've got any questions, do fire away. We're both here to answer. And to our very best of ability. I mean, if there's something we can't answer personally, we will ask one of the other developers. And then we do take note and bring the answers back to you the week after. I'm going to put that pavement there. Evening, Seamus. How you doing, bud? Good to see you. What's the music levels like, Will?
I don't know. We've got you muted right now. Sounds alright to me.
Good stuff. Let's put them there. Move them garages back a little bit. Do cross country on this line? No, it's GWR. There's freight that runs down here. So you get the long stone trains from Watley Quarry and stuff that go to Acton. Yeah, it's HSTs. In this period of the route, it's HSTs, but it's now it is IETs in modern era. Which you can do modern era on. It's just obviously the period we're going for in terms of things is 2010. So you'll see some differences with the assets on that. But yeah, you can get away with doing your modern period if you wish to do so as well. There's no limits on what you drive. The music isn't from Peaky Blinders, I don't think. It's Kevin MacLeod is what we're using. I'm gonna leave them there. It's quite a funky tune though. So now we're gonna put the hedge in. So I'm gonna bring that to about 6.5, I think. And hopefully that should give us enough pavement. I am going to have to move the houses again. Otherwise the people cannot get in and out of the house. Right, so. Just going to bring that down to there. Again, we're only going so far with the detail. We don't need to be doing all this miles away because you're not really going over there. You just want to be seeing this from the station. So when you come do your screenshots and stuff like that, that's what you want to sort of see in the background. Just a little bit of detail.
Something nice to put in your screenshots.
Yeah. So we're going to cut some gaps in the hedge so that people can then go to the house. Now as well, Mr. Will is going to be talking to you at some point during the stream about his first stream next week. So it'll be the other way around. I'll be co-hosting Will whilst he's doing some asset building. So at some point he will give you all the information you need to know on that and what it involves as well, because it'll involve you guys. I'm led to believe.
Well, seeing as though Tom's just ruined it. Basically, from next week, I will be doing a stream. I'll be taking over Monday night stream for a asset development stream. Now, we're unsure about how we're going to do this just yet. But the idea is we could do a Facebook poll, or we could do take just any live suggestions. If you've got any tonight, just ask. But basically, what we want to do is small assets in a stream. So you can see the entire process of custom assets from start to finish. bench. I could do a bench. I've done plenty of benches. I will have a word with Scott tomorrow and see if we can get like a poll up together to make some stuff. But yeah, the whole idea is just to show you guys the sort of behind the scenes. That's what this stream was aimed at, so that you guys can see how the route builders build a route, and next week's stream will be how the asset devs build the assets.
So it's gonna be sort of like a recurring theme. So there'll be a method of our stream. So what it'll be a driving stream, a route building stream, to be a development asset stream, back to another driving stream in sort of that method, providing it all goes to plan and proves popular. We want it to prove popular as well. So it relies on you guys as well. If it's something you enjoy, and we can see that you're enjoying it, then more can happen, which is a good thing. Can we sack Tom?
This has been my whole idea to shake the streams up a bit, because we've been streaming for a while now and we haven't really changed anything. So we want to mix things up a bit.
Need to bring it up a little bit because it's not high enough. There we go. Rat tunes here. Can you make houses that look like they're on fire?
Make houses like they're on fire. Ooh.
That would be like an emitter, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I could make smoke ball from one, but I'm not very good at smoke emitters. I mean, goodness, you know what it was like at was it Ratcliffe? Cooling towers at Ratcliffe?
The issue with emitters is they don't work very well at distance either. So you have to be it's one of them.
Yeah.
It's not an asset side of things, it's a train sim limitation.
Evening, Rose Squadron. I'm Will.
Evening.
I am a asset dev for JT.
Evening, Morgan, as well. The world's longest bench from Scarborough Station.
I've got to look this up now.
It is quite a long bench, actually. I heard you can make Reading Station in 2 hours.
Yeah, can I? you can help me. The
platform.
the platform. Yeah,
the platform.
I could probably. I don't know how many platforms does Reading have back in.
God, you're asking me. I don't know.
2010.
There was a few.
It's on your section of a route, mate.
Hang on, let me go and count. 10. 10?
10? I can do 10.
Apparently there's 10 there.
I think that'll make it the biggest station I've done.
Oh.
In terms of platforms. Nottingham only had 7 or 9.
Well, there are 2 men with beards. My life will never be the same. Will's beard is better, it curls.
I've cut the curls off, mate.
Oh, the Christmas curls are gone.
Christmas curls are gone.
Curls are for life, not just for Christmas, mate.
Oh.
I think that was 6.5 did before, so I'm just going to put that there. I think. It was. There's another arrowhide under there. There we go. It's one of the awkward ones.
We could do a video on signaling, but oh, it's a big old can of worms.
What's this one?
Lee Jones from Facebook. How about one on doing signals and how to do electrification, because the old video is on YouTube 2015.
Doing electrification, that's an easy word to say, isn't it? In terms of asset creation, yeah, that's an interesting one. Obviously, that all works on nodes and stuff as well. Definitely an interesting one.
Yeah,
signaling, of course, is the scripting side of things, so that's very complex.
That would probably be 2 streams, one to build it and one to script it.
definitely good to see some different ideas being thrown out there, because again, it's like the route feedback. Anything we see, it'll always get taken on board, and it may be added to a pile just of requests and stuff like that. But we do look at that pile of requests. You never know, something may feature one day. I need another house there. Right. Let's get that there and that one gone.
Golden Goldsmith Scenarios, thank you for the like.
Evening, Jason. How are we doing, mate? Thank you very much for the like. A tripod cam recorder. That's a good idea. A tripod with camera on. That would be brilliant. I like that idea.
Yeah,
some little train spot. You can put it in front of the characters, and they're taking pictures at the train line, and platforms and stuff. There we go. We have now got some gardens in some form. Right, I need to put some houses on this section.
It is possible, but Dean, but it's a tricky thing to do, because you would have to do it as a track-linked object, which wouldn't be very good for stations and stuff like that. We do have editable signs, but they are only limited to speed signs and things like that, I believe.
It is a shame you can't have like a plate of a sign. Let's just say, for example, like the first Great Western sign, which we're using, so like a blank sign, and then you can just type the name in. It is a shame that it doesn't work in that way.
It would be possible. It's not an impossible thing to do, but it would have to be treated as a signal.
All right.
Like you remember those plates
yeah.
I did, Metline?
Oh, the repeater plates.
Yeah, where you could enter the signal number.
Yeah, I remember.
But that took a lot of finicking about,
and they threw up their own errors as well, didn't they? They were quite problematic at first.
Oh, yeah, they crashed the entire route first time they put
they
those
broke all the signalling, didn't they? That was comical.
Yeah, that was a fun one. 3 weeks before Metline, I broke the entire route. Chris Brock, thank you for the like.
Thank you. Good evening. How are we doing? Just sink them down a bit, just so they're not floating on the edges, because it's downhill. I'm just going to double check on my Google Maps what's happening. So there's some more bungalows yet. They do change into, I think, 2-storey houses around the corner. Hang on, let's get them ones.
Morgan Roberts, thank you for the like.
Thank you, Morgan. Right, I'll just go a little bit further on the road. Check that. Oh, they don't. They carry on as bungalows. They definitely don't stay underground or like that. There we go. Let's get rid of them and bring them up. So we need to tilt them on the tilt tool there. There we go. Just need to leave enough gap because we're going to put some hedging in there and a bit of pavement. Although, yeah, well, actually, because you'll see, bring the pavement up there, actually, to be fair. I'm going to tilt them a little bit. Try and get both steps to show like that. I think you have this right. So don't forget the ABS. Good evening. So in Quick Drive, would it be possible to do Exeter to Exeter via Bristol? You should be able to do it as a Quick Drive, because if you wanted to do it as a loop, are we talking like as in a full loop? So we came up. Let's go straight up via the Bristol to Exeter route up to Bristol, and then bring yourself back round via Bath and Westbury. Is that what we're saying? Or are we saying going to Bristol, turn back and come back around? Evening McRambo. It is a jazz club tonight, APT. It is. I like this playlist one.
Well, it sounds a lot better than just click, clack, click, you know.
The fast show. Right, I want to just paint a bit of terrain here.
Oh, you're going to get rid of all those cabbage patches?
I am.
Oh. That definitely has to be from when I edited the terrain textures in the common library.
I don't know, yeah, maybe. There we go. There's a few trees to plonk into the middle as well. So via Bristol and back, if it's going around in a circle, you should be able to do it in a QD. If you're going to Bristol and turning ends to come back, then it's going to be a bit more tricky. You don't have to do that as a scenario, but if you're just in a full circle, then a QD should be possible, yeah. Do you get a number that tells you how many resources you're using per tile? Yes. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it in stream. You can't. Underneath, at the bottom of the bar, right at the bottom of the screen, behind the green bar, you can't see it. It does tell you how many assets are on that tile. So at the minute, we've got 1,000 assets on this tile. It's not really going to climb much more. It's just got a few trees put in here, so if I put my boundaries on, that white line is the tile that you see around that square. That is one tile, so there's not much left to go in this tile. And then it'll go into the next tile, which is 769 assets. The one before is 1,400. A little bit more around here because obviously we're going to a town. Oh, I've just seen something. I need to fix that. There we go. Some floaty houses. There we go. Right. Evening, Bartes Chris. How are we doing? I feel like we're on a sea shanty or something. Chief Jack, good evening. You're doing some route building yourself. Excellent. How's it going?
I'm not a route builder, Dean. Tom's probably best answering that one.
Is there a way to instruct AI trains to go from stop A to stop B and back and repeat this trip indefinitely rather than having to manually input the instruction? You would have to keep inputting it, unfortunately. There's no way of making it duplicate, so putting it in like once. You'd have to keep doing it backwards and forwards, unfortunately. That's that pavement. So what we'll do in a minute when we get these in, we'll do a little bit of clutter in the gardens, get them done. So we'll get some trampolines and all that sort of stuff in, some tables, odd trees and bushes. I do like to use just trampolining, just bounce.
Just bounce.
Other brands are available, but we like just bounce. There. Nigel, not a problem. Yeah, that's no problem at all. The streams are available to catch up on. It'll stay on stream, the live stream section on YouTube forever. Facebook, it should stay there as well. It's just the one at Twitch will stay on for about a week or two, usually about 2 weeks before it gets wiped off. JD Custard, I agree, super elevation is hard. I'm not a very good track layer, luckily, I haven't played this track. Mark does track laying side of things, so whenever anybody that's done it's on Mark's side, he can do all that, luckily. If I was to do it, it'd be like a roller coaster. But I do know how hard it is to do super low elevation. It is very tricky to get right. We're quite lucky that we're quite a diverse team, that we have all different like talents to bring to the table. So obviously, someone can do one thing, another one can do another bit, and then all that sort of stuff. That's all right. Just need to get the little hedges in there. This is Bedwin, Ben. So this is the station after Pusey.
Yeah, Tom, I think your music is a tad loud.
Is it going a bit loud now?
It's gone really dramatic as well.
I think that one's going a lot louder than the last one. Should be better. Just let us know if it's still too loud. Right, 6.5 on the offset. Bush. That's the wrong button. Try again. Right, let's get that offset. Move the arrows away from the road.
Saeed, thank you for the like. I think that's how you pronounce your name. I'm sorry if it's not.
Thank you very much. Are we having a Facebook spurt again?
Oh, these are just getting harder. Antonis. I'm not even going to pronounce that surname. Thank you very much.
Thank you again. Good evening. Make some entrances to the houses there. How's the quality looking again? Is it still looking good? Obviously, because we've got the 2 windowed webcams coming up. It's not eating any FPS or anything, is it?
From my end, it's looking pretty good.
Is it looking good? That's what we like to hear. Saeed, thank you. Not a problem. You're welcome. And thank you for joining us as well. Let's get these in.
Yes, Dean, I'm fairly certain the moving vehicles come from the actual road loft.
Yeah, I believe as well that you can make different ones and to suit your type of vehicle. In the blueprints, you can choose whatever area of cars you want. If you want tractors, you can add tractors and stuff like that as well. If you want, I think the buses, obviously you can add them. If it's just normal cars or mopeds as well. Whatever you want, you can have it not have buses if you wanted.
James, thank you very much for the like.
Thank you, James. Nigel, have a good one. Good night, mate. Thank you. Chief, I wish DTG and ATS had payment assets, as they're the only libraries that you're working with. Oh, that's fair enough. Yeah, payments are quite new to our library, to be fair. They only came in, I think, DNL, Derby Nottingham Leicester, they came into play.
Yeah, I had some spare time, so I was able to throw a bunch together.
What's the maximum assets we're allowed to use on a tile? So really, we're getting to the limit, really, for a countryside. I usually work to around 700 or so. So what if we go down here? Oh, it's like middle of nowhere. These are all about 1,000, but we start. They are 800, 500. When it builds up into towns and stuff, usually about 1,000 to 1,500 really for a town. Cities, 3,000 to 4,000 if you can, depending on how big the city is.
It's also really important on the type of asset as well. So obviously, if you're doing, say you're doing a massive station, that's going to be a bit more intensive than a common library house.
So we've got to save. In your own time, Trinson.
That's right, this is where it's going to bottom out on you, mate.
I hope not. So we'll just listen to the music while we're waiting. There we go. Here we go. We're back in the game. Right. So
yeah, I'm not sure what's up with my webcam. I'm very sorry, Mark.
Is it your light?
It's not my light. If I turn my light off, it's
Evening, Mark. See, I've got my light on. It might be. See, my light's on and it's lit quite well. What type of light have you used? Like colour?
Just white for now. It's my massive forehead. That's the issue. You know, I'm sat here with a billboard on my face.
It's all pink. Just gonna put a couple of trees in here. I'm gonna sink them into the ground a little bit more because they do look quite big. Right, I just want to see what's in this bit. I think there's a fence and it's just trees. So we can get that filled in. Just going to move my Google Street View up the road a little bit. So yeah, it's a palisade fence. So what I'll do, I'm going to put a pavement starting here. I'm going to bring that around to about there. So again, we need to move them away because otherwise, well, the curb's facing the wrong way. So move all the arrows out. Pavement free. I'm hoping this doesn't go through the station building. There we go. We can't just move the station to fit. Why does it look silly? That'll do. And then I'll offset once again. Start there, so I'll have to tidy it up and meet up. So we'll put 6 should do it actually, I think. Maybe 5.8. Just so it's flush with the back of the pavement there. So we're going to use some more new palisades on this. Should match in with that. I like to tie that little gap up. We've got some new ones that came into the common library the other week. We've got some blue, silver and green ones. Which are different heights to the ones we've got in our library existing. These ones are taller here. But I can't get a piece small to fit in that gap. I'll leave it for now, I'll sort that. Might have to trim it back a bit. On colour. There we go. Is this Thomas the Tank? We've got Thomas the Tank. What a tune. Where's Will? Has he gone quiet?
No, I'm here.
You're here.
I think you've got autoplay on, mate, and it's just I don't think
Oh.
we're in a copyright-free section anymore.
Oh,
You might want to start the playlist from the start and just put a repeat button on.
Oh, we missed out Thomas the Tank. Bad.
we're gonna get copyright stricken now.
Oh well, we've had Thomas the Tank. We're back to normal. It was only 43 minutes long, that playlist.
Oh, was it? My bad.
Yeah, that's alright. Well, we know when we get to Tom Tangan, we'll just start again.
Yeah.
Right, so they've got the car park to go here. I'm just gonna bring that down. What route will give you the latest common library? So Sheffield Derby will be the one. I like Dean.
Taylor, thank you very much for the like on Facebook.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Any Kuju cars? No, we'll be using TSA cars here. I'm just double checking for what I can do for the car park. So we have our car park asset loft. So I'm gonna try about there. I need to move that away, I think, with this one. I can't remember if you have to leave the arrow pointing away. We want car park.
Can't say, mate, they're not my assets.
There we go. Oh, these are quite old school, these ones. Perfect. Although I'm going to chop some of this off. I'm going to remove that bit because there is some disabled spaces as well on this bit, so I'm going to change them out. And
That's a bit of a harsh remark, goodness.
What's Mark saying?
Oh, he's just called you a joke, mate.
Oh, cheers, Matt. Very kind. That one.
Nothing like love between co-workers.
I know. There we go. We need a bank shed.
Ooh, Tom, you'd know that one. Does water make the tile count jump up?
Good question, actually. Should we put one down? I would have thought so, because it's still classed as an asset. So it should just be one. Water. Apparently one. Is it one? Yeah, one. It goes up by one. Although it works weird though, because if it's unselected, it says I've got 1,067 tiles asset used. If I click it, it goes up to 1,075. But if I then deselect it, it goes back down to 1,067. So I don't know how that works.
Yeah, that's the separate corners it has to render in.
I'm with you.
So you see when you select it, you get blue try. So that's what it has to render in. That's why the assets go up.
Ah, right. I didn't know that actually. To be fair. I just think it'd be all classed as one. Yeah, that makes sense. Otherwise, it says one. Does it still count them though, even though it hides them when you unselect them?
No.
Right. So it just classes. So basically, once it's moved to place, it classes it as one.
Yeah, it's like how on the decals you get that green arrow that shows up.
Right. Right, there we go. That's what we want. There's a gap there. There's also a blue junction box, which I don't think we've got a blue one, so I'll have to put I'll put a grey one in just for now. If we have time to get blue ones made, I don't know. But it's quite a big one. Oh yeah, I never realised that. To be fair, I never took note of that. So yeah, that's jumped up from 1,067 to 1,845 if you go on the gradient tool. That's pretty mad. Right, let's get us some cars in. So we go to the vehicle section, which is under the character head. We're going to go to the TSA cars, which are parked versions. So basically these won't have lights on them at night time. We're not going to fill all the spaces up, we'll just randomise them and turn them around here and there.
Nice bit of variation in.
We like to have a bit of variation. The Audi A3 in there. We're going to Range Rover. We'll stick him over here because he don't have his doors dinked by anyone. He likes to keep out of the way. There we go. Did I answer Dean about the common library? Oh, Luke. I did answer someone about the common library. I think that was Chief Jack. I missed a question about the common library. Let's have a look. Oh no, I did. Yeah, the common library. It was Sheffield Derby. You put the density to 10.
You've got to put a car down on the line, mate.
Over the line.
On the line, yeah, just over it.
We'll do that as a van. The van driver. Park where they want. Oh, that's the station. He's just left it where we wanted him. That'll do. About the arrow direction to scroll. And gone. How do you make the arrows change direction? Right, so on the gradient tool, not the gradient tool, sorry, the track select tool. So on the top window, you go to the track section, which is the second across. You'll see there's a little square that's got like little dotted lines going around to make the square. You click that, and then you can either select road or a loft or track. Go so far like that, and then you need to click the fourth one along, which is the offset. So if you click that, that'll bring up the line with the arrows on. So if I bring it in a little bit, so you can see that at the minute that both arrows are pointing in. So all you do is hold the left click down, and then just drag them out, and then let go, like so. And then you can put whatever you want on there. So it works. Certain things you don't need to. If it's just a normal fence that doesn't have any difference on each side, you can leave it as is. For example, with our pavements, if we don't move the arrow around, the pavements will face the wrong way. So that's why we drag the arrow away from the road. If that makes sense. Not a problem. Sorry I missed that. Didn't see it. Mark's pointed it out for me, so thank you. Right, we've got the cars. What else do we need on here? I'm just going to double check there's any other bits of clutter for now. There's a few bikes we can put in there, isn't there? Let's get a couple of bikes in the bike shed. So TSA has a bike model. TSA bicycle we want. There we go. Let's get a couple of bikes in. Just lean them in a little bit, just so that like they're resting. Raise that up a little bit. It's just sunk into the loft there. I'll just put another one in. We'll have that twisted the other way.
It's alright, no one will tell. It's flat tyres, mate.
Flat tyres. Eaten by the loft. There we go.
Very trusting. No bite locks.
No, it's a nice place, is Bedwin.
No, I'm just sat here mocking Tom, Mark. You know,
See what else is
thanks
on
for pointing out the fact that I look nice and red.
it. Right, I don't actually think there's any other things around here. There's actually no street lamps out here. Oh, there is a couple on the side bits. We can put the side ones on. But it's actually on the main road. There must be. So these lamps must really light up the whole area. Right, we'll go for our modern lamp. Modern single. So we've got a couple of them in. Put a couple up here, and it comes down here, so it lights itself up with the station lamps then. Put some of this one as well. I'm not going to put all the light gizmos on it until later on when we do the actual route lighting. Do that in one hit. Which is a lengthy
you like
process.
a good nighttime scenario, though, mate.
We do like nighttime scenarios. Let's just get them up. Spotting southeast, good evening. Hope you're doing well. What determines if a new route asset will be included in the next version of the Common Library? So we go through, usually, at the end of a release. It's meant to happen that way, I think, isn't it? Well,
It's supposed to happen like
it's
that.
supposed
Yeah,
to. Basically, what we'll do then, we'll go through the said previous release, Uxbridge, and then what we'll do is we'll look at what assets are in there and what could be useful for other routes. So usually common stuff. So, for example, off DNL we took the buffers. So we added them to the Common Library because buffers are useful everywhere. Other stuff such as warehousing, stuff like that, are always used in many places. So, because our warehouses are usually most of the time quite generic, so they fit in anywhere. Stuff like that. If it's a house and we can use that, we'll put them in. Houses usually are built for the Common Library anyway, to be honest, though. But
it's important to mention that when we make our lists of assets that need to be custom, we decide there and then normally whether or not it's going to be a route-specific asset or a common library asset.
So we work off a spreadsheet. It's all noted down, and so it'll have on there suffix whether it's a common library or specific to the route, and if it's specific to that route, it doesn't move away from the library. I'm going to just tidy that bit of fencing up. Job's a good one.
I think he's ignoring you, Mark.
Uxbridge looks good in the daylight, not if anyone's seen it. I'm not sure if that's a slight dig at me there from Mr. Mark. Something about
It's alright,
Uxbridge at night.
I've gotten over it. It was only my debut route, mate.
I did make a new scenario though, the other day.
Yeah. 2 years after it was released.
To be fair though, it was early morning. It was like 6 o'clock, so it was just going daylight. So it was bright by the time we got into the tunnel.
Yeah, by the time you got into the tunnel.
Right, I'm happy with that for now. I will come back and tidy some of the areas around off air. But what I'll do next, I'm gonna just put in here. I need to double check if there's a fence. I think there's a fence that's gonna go across the back of that. So that's the aim when we're going to do these route building streams. That the general aim is to get people in the know that are starting out as well, so we can help and answer any questions, and just give these little tips away, such like that one where you asked before with the arrows and that, and anything that we can pass on to you guys. I think the palisade fence does go across the back. I'm just going to double check that. Hopefully I can see it through the mass of trees, which it looks like there is. So, get the green fence. There. Ooh. Hang on, I can fix that. Let's drop that down a bit.
Might be a tricky one.
No, it should be alright if we can drop the terrain down a little bit. There we go. Hopefully there's no gap on the other side. Let's find that.
I can tweak it. I can tweak the model if there is.
Yeah, I think it's right, that, to be honest. I'll just do with that.
Yeah, possible.
It's full of trees anyway. Get some bit of grass on the ground, and then we'll put some trees over that.
Nothing says quality workmanship like hiding. We've got like cutting corners, mate.
Oh, put that back. So what we'll do is we'll put a bit of that in as well. We'll just sink that down a bit. Just tidy it up with a bit of a cluster there, just a small piece. So I'll put some bushes in, and then we'll get the trees in. And they're quite tall, these trees, so we're going to put some of the bigger oak trees in this bit. So we'll do a row of bushes first. We'll go for 3D first, and then we'll put a bit of 2D towards the back of it. We don't need to go overkill with 3D. I'll find bush rows. There. Right. I'm going to put a couple of single ones in as well, because it does come around. So I'm going to put one of them. Let's go for the smaller ones this bit. That's a bit too big. Maple bush. There we go. There's a relay box in there as well.
There's a couple in there.
Yeah, get a couple of them in. DTG need to give us much finer and precise mesh in the next update. I don't think we'll ever see a finer mesh added to this TS Classic, sadly. Obviously, Trains and World's a different game, where that has its that does have a newer mesh, which you can see when they do route build. You get a lot more precise in the cuttings and stuff like that. It can be quite hard work on TS Classic sometimes. You've got a big cutting. You just got to hope that the terrain's on your side so it'll actually work. Otherwise, you've got to do a little bit of tweaking and that.
Well, the amount of times we've had to do customs for cuttings and stuff like
yeah.
that.
Sometimes works out better just having the custom in there.
Mm.
I'm going to go to the TSA section because I think there's a big junction box which will fit in here. Wrong section. Don't want signals. Does it come under junction box?
This is something we need more in the common library, more junction boxes.
Yeah, these days they seem to be in different colours now as well.
Mm.
To be colour coordinated. Where are they? We'll do it this way, we'll just get the whole TSA library into one section. I'm not sure if they come under junction box or relay.
Oh, that would be the dream. Higher than a 256 terrain texture. That would be the dream.
That'd be nice. Shoot the Bandit. I never knew Track.io worked with TS until last night. It does. I've never used it myself, but I have. I have seen odd streams that have been used with it. I think Matt Pedalston uses them. I've seen him do them in the past in his stream. I actually can't find the box. Is it? Oh, it's Circuit. That's it. Found it.
Oh, that's a big lad.
He's a big boy, isn't it? This is Will's music. Mark's dishing your music, mate. Mark doesn't like your music, mate.
Yeah, this is what I usually stream to.
Just having problems with door opening at platforms. What do you mean there? Spotting southeast with the passenger gates. Peaky Blinders. Right. That's that. Let's look at these trees in, don't we? It's a big one. How'd you get this song? Would you care to
Oh, it's
pop a link or
it's
something?
the cloud one.
Can you? Is there any way you can pop a link to that song?
Yeah, I can do that. I don't actually know what song it is because I can't log on to.
It's hang on, can I not get a link to that song? It's called Secret of Tiki Island.
Secret Tiki Island. I can get a link to that.
I've got a song link here. Unless you've got one.
Yeah, if you can get a song link.
Song link. I'll put that into the chat. That should come through. I hope. Has that worked? I don't think that's worked. Try again. It hasn't worked.
Right, one sec. I'll try and get one together.
No problem.
And to be honest, Mark, I only have one subscriber and it's you. So.
I think he's just mocking you.
Well, you know, I don't listen to him at work. Why would I listen to him in my spare time?
So you can't get any doors to open at the platforms you've placed. Have you put an invisible platform in Spotting Southeast? Because if you don't pop one of them in, they won't allow doors to open. It's like at the minute I couldn't open a door here because we haven't got invisible platforms in, and they're done off a loft. So if you go to the track section and go to the platform, you'll see, for example, in JT Common Library, so platform IMV, and then it's the sizing. So you need to put one of them over the whole of the platform, where your track station marker is. So as long as it covers that whole section, and try and do it without any breaks in it as well. It's harder on a curve, but if you have a straight station, you can do it usually one hit if it's at the right size, and then it'll allow your train to open the doors then. I'm gonna put one more 3D tree.
Oh, that's you can get like 3D scanning software that can do that, but the mesh comes out horrible.
What's that?
Getting something, take loads of photos of something, put it into a software that then generates a 3D model from it.
All right.
The model you get from it is in the nicest way trash. You know, it gives you something to work from. But then again, if it was that simple, I'd be redundant.
Yeah, so when you place the invisible platform, you can't see anything that because it comes up as like a mesh. So if I place one here, just for example, let's just say place that there. So you can see it's like a mesh. You won't see any of them lines when you go into the game. As well, when you place it into place, you'll see that it may overhang your platform. Basically, you then double click, which is quite hard to like. I'll just move it up for now. If you double click it underneath, you'll see it brings up another box. You click generate. You can move these little blue markers around. Then you can move them up to like where your platform boundaries are, so like up to the yellow line and stuff like that. So that in theory, even though it doesn't always work because Train Sim works in mysterious ways, usually it should keep them in between the people that walk in the boundary of that blue markers. But sometimes they do like to encroach over and walk in front of the train. It's just a TS quirk, but that's how that should work. Right. Please note as well, when you do that, don't place loads and loads of them on top of each other because they do put quite a bit on your asset count. Do it as one straight run if you can. Yeah, Mark's point there as well. Just make it in one. Don't have breaks in it because that does cause issues. If there's a break in it halfway, sometimes it won't allow them doors to open then. Yes, the car hasn't even reached 1,000. That's good. You'll have good FPS. If you was to place single track next to more single track, how can you get it so it's perfectly aligned? Well, you can offset it, which is a good way of doing it. So you get the little offset tool. I'll just quickly point that out. You can offset it so far. I'm not going to place it because I don't want to put the track down, but you can do it this way. You can put your offset distance, so put 2.5, for example. You can click your track you're using and then just click on the box and that'll keep it in the same line. You can also do it in another way. If you're doing a straight line, go to a straight section of track you're doing, pick your track and then just snap the arrow over the track, and providing you've got nothing else in the area, it'll keep in that same line, so you can just start putting a piece of track next to it and it'll follow that same line. We've got a trees question, have we? Hang on. Did I see the new JT trees and bushes asset that came with Midland Mainline? What do they come under? Right, so go to the houses tab, go to the little tree, and then in the common library they come under. So the trees come under JT-CL in brackets. You got tree rows, so these are the flexi rows, which moves to the contours of the land. So if there's a little dip, them trees will go down a bit or come up, depending on where the hills are. Also, there is the single place ones that are mixed in as well, but they're all dotted about in the CL, in the list. But you'll see there's oak trees, so we've got single place ones there, and then you've got bushes as well. The bush rows are a bit further to the top as well. There's a set of flexi row ones and then also single place ones. Were they maybe using speed tree? Mark, you'll know the answer to that one. I'm going to put some foliage down the track side actually first. So I'm going to get me Google Earth, come off Street View. I'll zoom that into there. And I'm also going to knock it back in time. And also need a cab ride as well. This is where I need more monitors. Right, actually, let's right place that as well. Right, so I was up to here.
I don't know that one. Tom, do you know that one? If you placed a road in yellow crosses, road marking over two tracks, it can't select it without deleting the track.
If you place a road and the yellow crosses the road marks. You mean as in like the yellow arrows?
Or is it the decal?
Oh, it could be the central reservation box, couldn't it? Let me just...
I know my decals are relatively hard to select.
Where is it?
I think it's the last one, isn't it?
That one.
10?
Do you mean this one, Dean? I shall hang on for a second.
Suspense.
Right, there we go.
Okay,
Yes, so let's put it there. So, at the minute, you can't select it. All it's doing is highlighting the track. But the way of doing it, getting around it, if you go underneath, get underneath the arrows, so it might take a bit of fiddling around. You've got to sort of get to the right. There we go. You've just got to sort of get to the right sort of place. It can be harder when there's more assets in the area, but if you go underneath the arrows, you can usually select it. It just takes a little bit of fiddling around. You don't have to delete the track.
Yeah, I think next time I make a bunch of decals, I'll make something that's a bit easier to select. Because the green arrows were an attempt to copy DTG in how they do theirs, but I've learned quite a bit since then, so...
So around the back of these houses, literally, most of them are tall bushes. It's towards the end where the trees come in, so there's some trees near this crossing.
Oh, Henrik, thank you for the like.
Thank you very much, good evening. So it's a small section of trees, so we'll go with that one there. I'm going to drop them down a little bit because they're not as tall as that. It's about there. Just make sure they're not over the track, and then you do need to come back a little bit. That's one of the...
You have to call the council in to chop them down.
Yeah. Well, no, if they don't do the council, well, none of that. Usually, if it's a train spotter, they'll just bring their own shears and just chop them back themselves. So on this side, there's a few low bushes, so we're going to go with not that. That's a big bush. There we go. I want some of these ones. Just lower them down a little bit.
The reason the decal's doing that is because it's probably set too high. So there's a binding box with the decal, which you want to move down. Anything that enters that will get the decal on it.
I do need to put some other bits of foliage in here in a minute as well. Some rose bush and stuff like that, and some bits of brambly bits and pieces. Some more trees down here.
Oh, I like that little alleyway.
Yeah, they cut through to the street here.
Is that one of our new track crossings?
That's one of the new ones that Callum put together for us. It's one of 4 new ones. It's a mixture of bushes and trees here. We have road trees, so I'm going to go with, so it doesn't go all the way to the crossing, don't want a long section, so we're going to go with something like that, and then we do need to drop it down a bit because it's not as tall as that. About that. Now I'm just going to double check what goes on the next bit. bushes. Got them down a bit. How does one get the whistle board to show up on the hood? Good question. Whistle boards, as far as I know in TS, aren't track linked, so they're just little signs that don't link to the track. So it would have to be a track linked asset.
It would have to be, yeah.
Did DTG make some track link ones at some point? Because I have seen track linked whistle boards. The ones we use aren't track linked. I do remember track link one being a thing on some routes. Oh, we're back to the shanty. Is it Chatham Main Line and Medway Valley? I think Thompson Interactive's Highland Main Line, or West Highland Line, whatever it was, had them. Want to see the crossing in snow? Ooh. I shall do that. Let me put this row of bushes in, and I will quickly flip to snow mode.
I would like to point out the station has no winter.
I was just about to say that.
I haven't made them.
So please do note. In 2 moments now, I'll.
I take blame for that as well, Mark. I've missed it as well.
Every time you've missed it. Give me a moment.
Bad team. Bad JT.
Let's save that. I'll do the rest of that in a moment. So, yeah, I'll just nip into swap it over to winter.
That's it. I'm not doing as good a job as Mr. Ford.
Why can't Tom read chat? Tom's got about 500 different windows going. I've got the chat. I've got a camera. I've got Google Earth. I've got everything. Right, we want winter.
That's what I'm here for, but I just keep missing chats. So.
I'm co-hosting next week. I'll just miss all chat. Well, that should do it. There's the boss.
Yeah. Off goes Tom to wash his hands.
Hey! Right. Right, here we go. Oh. Oh? Why has it gone like dark?
What time is it set to?
I don't know. Oh yeah? Oh, I didn't realise it was set to 1600, never looked. Hang on. We'll stick it to the middle of at lunchtime or so. Oh, it's 1800. We'll just stick it at 12 then. Didn't realise it'll set that late. Try again. Take 2. Pair of weapons.
Alright, we can only get worse from here, Mark.
Alright, take 2. Hey! There's the winter textures. There's little footsteps in them as well. There's another one up here, I think, as well. That's got a white line around it as well, white band. I think Mark's giving written warnings. Evening as well, Scott. So there's some other ones, but I don't think they're anywhere nearby here, to be quite honest. They're a bit further back. We've got some wider ones, which are like farm crossings for vehicle access. And there's also ones with yellow band around them. First time I've looked at it so far in snow.
Looks nice.
Right, let's go back to normal mode. Then footsteps appear again somewhere on. Yeah, I'll show you Midgham Station quickly actually, because that was approved today. There's some footage still to come. So this one is one of Callum's assets. Bear in mind, nothing else has been done around the station. That's still to come. But the model came in this week as well. It's been last week was approved today. There's the footsteps. That's quite. I do like that. It's quite impressive. So the clutter's still to come yet, but the model itself is there. With the missing slats as well. The other cool little feature he's done with this one, Callum, I don't think you can see it actually. Some of them are a bit crooked as well, so some stick out and move in. Not cool.
He's definitely done a very good job on the station.
He's put a mound of snow in, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So we've got a mound of snow at winter. That's what that was, what you put the picture up. I didn't quite realise what you were doing at first. There we go. Yeah. So that's Midgham. I'll go back into summer mode. We're all sweating. Yeah, the trees in winter, do they? Hey, what?
I don't always forget winter textures. When I do, it's all the time, though.
Now, the trees in winter look quite smart. There's a lot more branch on them, so they look quite full when you go past them. You know, the leaves are dropped off.
Oh, Tom, you know that one. Which stations are going to be custom?
So, custom stations are. Bear with. Let me just bring the old map up. When it's there we go.
Got their list as well.
There's a couple on Mark's section which I don't know which ones he's gone for, which hopefully Mark will be able to tell you. But the ones on my section I do know of, off the top of my head, are so Pusey, which you've seen, which is down here. You've got Bedwin, which is we're just at now. You've got Hungerford to come. Then you've got Kintbury, Newbury Racecourse, Thatcham. We've got Midgham, that's now in. Then there is Aldermaston. I think it's then Feel. Then it's Reading West, and then on to Reading. So Mark's just popped in there. So we've got New Parson Street and Old Field Park, the two on Mark's section, to get some custom asset gen. I was up to it, weren't we? Let me see if I've got the list somewhere. I'm gone. Asset list. Let me see which ones I can see.
I think that's a scripting thing, isn't it, Tom? The
what?
Snow on the ZZA.
Oh, for this snow that flies off?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's done on the script. So it's scripted to start off at a certain speed, and it'll go off after a specific speed as well. So, with the snowplow, a certain speed could make snow appear. It could be added to the bottom of wagons and coaches. Yeah, in theory, you probably could add it to other trains. Obviously, it's done on a specific script. I'm just trying to see what I can see on this list. If there's any ones. So yeah, Parson Street Station, Keynsham Station, Oldfield Park. I think that's it. There may be another one I may have missed. There has been a couple of bits and pieces, like for old stations that are now shut. Is it Keenham or Keynsham? Just looking what it says on the list. Is it Keyham? I don't know. That one, anyway. You know what I mean. James Chick, good evening. So you've heard Bedwin is going on the Western Main. It's not a Western Main Line's extension. It's South Western Expressways to Reading. So it's a extension to the original route with a revamp to the existing section to then be relaunched as a fully new product. Existing customers will get a discount as well on that. So it'll know. So basically, when you come to put it in your basket, it'll know you've got the original, and it'll deduct a discount for you. That's right, tune. I was getting Tom the Tank vibes before, until Will told me to turn it off.
It's because we're going to get copyright stricken.
Right, I need to be cab ride again. Need to move like that. So the back of the station pretty much covered with bushes up the back of it, so
looking good so far. It's really interesting to see how it goes from...
It comes together quite quick, doesn't it?
From the bare model I send you to sort of slotting in place with environment.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing your side of things next week, where we start off with a little block, turn into an asset. Yeah. I might get some tips.
Well, you know,
for my sign building project.
If you'd have watched my streams before, you know how it works, mate.
I've watched them before. I just forget what happens.
You just forget.
It literally, like, it goes in one out the other because I just can't retain all that information. It's too much for me to handle. Just making sure that obviously the bushes ain't really coming through. I mean, some of them actually do come through the fences, to be honest.
Yeah, but you don't want to come in through the floor, mate.
It does have a Pokemon vibe to it. You're right, Mark. There is some trees up the back side of this station somewhere. About here. Quite a big tree, so I'm going to go with an oak. Not that one. That one.
I quite like that video camera asset idea. That would be pretty.
The little camcorder sort of job.
Pretty nice to make, yeah.
Just trying to get this into the right place. It's about there. I'll be back to the chat in a second when I have a spare window. Make sure that's not coming through the building. Nope. There we go. Excellent.
Probably want to check inside it, yeah.
Yeah, it was alright inside.
Sorry, I'm working on a delayed stream.
Oh, what's this? Have we gone through the library already? I think we have. Back to the beginning. Some of those crossings are definitely crying out for a spot or two with the camera, yeah, definitely. Well, they can be done as scenario items and main place ones, but yeah. Be like what we did with the Barrow Hill fences, because they were specific to scenarios as well, so you could place them wherever you wanted, some of them. Some were in fixed place, but like for the Barrow Hill open days and stuff, you can put fences in specific areas.
I think they're common library, aren't they?
I don't know. I don't know, actually. It's a good question. I'm going to have a look myself now. Called Barrow Fence, I think, weren't it? Barriers? Oh, yeah, I've got them there.
Barriers.
They're just called Barrier. Barrier. Yeah,
okay.
Common Library. So you could do something for Glastonbury Open Day. Glastonbury Festival. You could put some fences in, get the folk off the station. Glastonbury Open Day, what am I talking? I've got Barrow Hill Open Day in my head. I'm just chatting rubbish. As booked.
Oh, no change for heaven.
It's booked.
Those trees look very tall, mate.
I'm just, I'm scaling up to the cab ride.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Have you been cancelling the stream?
I've not done anything, mate.
The stream just disconnected and reconnected.
Yeah, it's just bottomed out. Hello?
Hello? I can hear you.
Oh, well, you probably want to change my video thing, mate.
Yeah, your webcam's gone off, hasn't it?
It's still on.
There we go, you're back. I'm gone.
You want to go, there you go. There you go.
There we go. I can see lights coming through, so I'm assuming the stream's carrying on. It's not opened a new stream, I hope. Has it messed up with our
Damien,
stuff?
thank you for the follow.
There's lots of follows coming through. Has it messed all our stats up?
Probably, but it'd be fine.
We're back. We're back. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what that was.
I don't. My router hasn't disconnected because the music's carried on playing.
Which is everything went quiet and then my Twitch just went crazy.
Strange.
Benfo, thank you for
Thank
the
you
follow.
everyone for the follow. There's many follows coming through.
Oh goodness, there are.